Okay, good afternoon, friends. Today we'll start the lecture. So hardly 19 students are there. No problem. We'll start lecture. So I am presuming that everyone is having a calculator, pen, and notebook, because I am not going to tell any theory. Whatever the things required to solve the problems, I will explain during that problem. So remember this. So everyone, please bring your calculator. If you don't have a calculator, please arrange from somewhere, and notebook and pen definitely you are having. Okay, so calculator is must here. So we'll start today's lecture. So this will be the question number 5. Now today's question is related to the truss. First question is related to the truss. A truss consists of a horizontal member AC, CD, DB, and EF, and vertical members EC and FD or DE, having a length 1 meter each. The members AE, DE, and BF are inclined at a 45 degree to the horizontal. For uniformly distributed load P per unit length on a member EF of a truss shown in figure, the force in the member CD is. They have asked a force on the member. It is CD is a member. Remember this. And they have given four options. First option is the A is equal to PL by 2. Second option is a PL. Third option is a 0. And fourth option is a twice a PL divided by 3. Okay. Now before solving this problem, I will give us somewhat amount of any important things which are required to solve the problems related to the trusses. Now we know that a truss consists of a member, and on a member we are assuming that the loads are applied at a joint. But in this case, they have mentioned the load is applied at the on the member. Now you might have remembered that whatever problems which we have solved in engineering mechanics, in all problem we have applied the load on a joint. But this problem is exceptional. They have not applied the load on a joint. They have applied a load at the center of the member. And this load is also not a point load. This load is a uniformly distributed load. आपण कदाचित तुम्हाला जर का ट्रसेसचे प्रॉब्लेम सोडवताना तुम्ही विचार करा की कधीही आपण असा फोर्स अप्लाय केलेला बघितला नाही की जो मेंबरवर अप्लाय केलेला असेल. Because there are 3 assumptions which we are considering during solving the truss problem. So first assumption is that joint is a perfect, not welded. Second assumptions, we are considering the members. On a member we are not applying any applied force. And third assumptions, member weight we are considering it is a negligible. So these are the assumptions. So perfect, it should be a perfect frame or perfect truss. In this way it is there. तर तुम्ही हे 3 assumption जर बघितलं तर त्या 3 assumption मध्ये हा प्रॉब्लेम बसत नाही. But still no problem. And in the trusses problem, we have considered the point load, not a uniformly distributed load. So our first thing is that convert a uniformly distributed load or uniformly varying load into the point load. या केस मध्ये आपल्याला युनिफॉर्मली व्हेरिंग लोडचं कन्व्हर्जन किंवा सॉरी इथं युनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्युटेड लोड आहे किंवा इथं युनिफॉर्मली व्हेरिंग जरी लोड असता तरी आपल्याला त्या लोडचं पॉइंट लोड मध्ये कन्व्हर्जन करावं लागेल. ओके. अँड दे हॅव आस्क्ड द मेंबर CD, फोर्स ऑफ अ CD member. We can use a method of joint also, and we can use a method of section. By both method we can solve this problem. But instead of going for some method of section, we can solve this problem with the help of a method of joint. So for that purpose, first thing we have required to do that, we have required to draw the FBD of complete truss. So once we have drawn the FBD of a complete truss, we can find out the reaction at a support. So at a point, there is a roller support is there, and at a B point, there is a hinged support is there. At a roller support, there is only one reaction present, and at hinged support, there are two reactions. You can write it down somewhere. This roller support generate only one vertical reaction, and hinged support produces two reactions. One is a horizontal and one is a vertical. Another one is a vertical. And fixed support is producing three reactions: horizontal, vertical, and movement. So here only two supports are there. So we have required to find out the reaction at A point. We don't require to find out reaction at a B point, because if I will consider a joint A, I can easily solve the remaining problem. But first steps to solve the problem of an stresses by method of joint, we have required to find out the reaction due to a support. Okay, and convert uniformly distributed load into the point load. How to convert? In a beam, we have solved such types of a problem. Uniformly distributed load can be converted into the point load by using formula length into height or length into load. Just like a rectangular, we are how to find out the area of a rectangular. So it is a length into the height. Similar way, if I wanted to find out the point load of a uniformly distributed load, and even you can check it, uniformly distributed load is just like in a rectangular. तुम्ही जर बघितलं तर युनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्युटेड लोड हा रेक्टँग्युलर टाइप स्ट्रक्चरनं रिप्रेझेंट केला जातो, आणि युनिफॉर्मली फेरिंग लोड हा ट्रायंगलच्या वेनं रिप्रेझेंट केला जातो. ट्रायंगलचा एरिया जसा फाइंड आउट केला जातो किंवा रेक्टँगलचा एरिया जो ज्या पद्धतीने फाइंड आउट केला जातो, त्याच पद्धतीनं आपण त्या लोडचं कन्वर्जन पॉइंट लोड मध्ये करू शकतो. सो व्हॉट इज द एरिया ऑफ रेक्टँगल? लेंथ इंटू हाइट. हियर टू कन्वर्ट युनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्युटेड लोड इंटू द पॉइंट लोड, length into applied force. So length is how much? It is a L, and applied force is a P, and location will be L by 2 from point E. Clear? So I have converted the load. So what will be the load now? It is a PL will be the total load, which PL, am I right? Force into the length, and location will be the L by 2 from a E point. Okay, so draw the FBD of this. पहिल्यांदा सगळ्यांनी एक FBD काढा, कंप्लीट ट्रस एक FBD काढा. ए पॉइंट पशी रिएक्शन एक दाखवा वर्टिकल, बी पॉइंट पशी दोन रिएक्शन दाखवा. One is the vertical and another is the horizontal, and in this way we have required to find out the reaction at point A. Then we have required to consider joint A. We have required to draw the FBD of joint A, and then we have required to draw the FBD of joint C. So we will get directly value of FCD. Okay, so try to solve this problem. So just I will explain the FBD. First FBD joint you have required to solve. So I have converted the uniformly distributed load into the point load. Now here I have drawn here FBD of a truss, complete truss. We have required RA and RB. By mistake, I have written here it is a P. It is not a P. It is a PL. Remember this. So it is not exactly a P. It is a P. PL. So now find out this. So I have applied a summation of f of x is equal to 0 and summation of f of y is equal to 0. So it will be RA plus RB is equal to PL. So now if you do the summation of M is equal to 0, movement if I will take at a point A, RB into 3L, RB into 3L. How it is a PL by 2? It will not be a PL by 2. It is not a triangle. Remember this. Abhinav Gaikwad has written that it is a PL by 2. Location will be at L by 2. From A point it will be a 3L by 2. Remember this. If it is a triangle, 1/3 paya gunule unchi, then I can say that it is a PL by 2. It is a not uniformly varying load. It is a uniformly distributed load. So the total load will be the PL. Okay. So now you can, if you find out this RA, RB is equal to PL. So from this you are going to get a value of an RB and RA. So RA I have got PL by 2. I don't require RB. The reason behind that I have required to start from a joint A. And they have asked just only one member force. So now draw the joint A FBD. Joint A ची FBD काढा सगळ्यांनी. Force on CD, okay. Abhinav has written that force on CD is a PL by 2. So we will check it. Exactly, we don't. I have also don't know. I have solved this problem, but I don't remember this answer. So we'll solve this. We will draw the FBD of a joint A. Then we will draw the FBD of joint C. So I have drawn it is wrongly. I have written this. So just okay. So here I will FAE, force in the member AE, FAC, and reaction at point A, which is we can call as an RA. So it is a PL by 2. Now this angle is a 45. They have clearly mentioned. त्याने angle किती आहे त्यांनी clearly आपल्याला सांगितलेला आहे. तर 45 degree angle आहे. So now you can here apply a Lami's theorem because only 3 concurrent forces are there. Find out FAE and FAC. Okay, so FAC is going to come minus PL. FAC is going to come minus PL according to my calculation. It might be a wrong also. Okay, now we'll take a joint C because we don't require to find out value of FAE because they have asked a value of a BC. Now remember that here if I consider the joint C also, without doing further calculation, I can solve this problem. मी काय म्हणतो अजून एकदा रिपीटलेली सांगतो. मला जर FAC ची व्हॅल्यू मिळाली असेल आणि जर का तुम्ही ट्रस्ट कड बघितलं तर तुम्हाला एक गोष्ट जाणवते त्या ठिकाणी की FCE मेंबर जो आहे तो कम्प्लिटली व्हर्टिकल आहे and joint C is a 3/4 member. Sorry, 3/4 joint. आता ह्या केसच्या 3/4 joint एक वैशिष्ट्य आहे. Two members are equal and opposite or they are collinear to each other and another one member is completely perpendicular to these two members. In such a case, the third member which is a perpendicular is definitely a 0/4 member. You might know this. आपण 0/4 मेंबर कुणाला म्हणू शकतो जर का दोन मेंबर कोलिनियर असतील आणि ह्या दोन मेंबरला जर थर्ड मेंबर हा परपेंडिक्युलर असेल तर तो मेंबर हा 0/4 मेंबर असतो. तो लोड कॅरी करत नाही म्हणून त्याला आपण 0/4 मेंबर असं म्हणतो. सो दे हॅव आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन इन द गेट बिकॉज दे हॅव नॉट. इफ यू आर हॅव्हिंग द परफेक्शन इन दिस, then we don't require to draw the joint C and we don't require to do the summation of f of x is equal to 0 and summation of f of y is equal to 0. फक्त आपल्याला FAC ची जर व्हॅल्यू मिळाली, so suddenly I can say that the value of FBC will be the sorry, BC will be the PL. So what will be the answer? Correct answer? Not, it is not a PL by 2. So it is answer will be a PL. Big answer is a correct one. Here it is a minus, but it is equal and opposite, so that it will be the positive. So the answer is a B, not a A. So Abhinav Gaikwad has a written in PL by 2. It is wrong. B answer is a correct one. Okay. So we'll take the next problem now. Okay, if anyone has not understood this, please you can ask me by unmuting to yourself. Okay, so again you can check it repeatedly. So what I did here. So question number 6 we will solve. The figure shows a pin joint plane truss jointed plane truss loaded at the point M by hanging of mass 100 kilogram. The member Ln of the truss is subjected to load. त्यांनी तुम्हाला काय विचारलेलं बघा, Ln member मधला फोर्स किती असेल असं त्यांनी विचारलेलं आहे. So just now I have explained to you. If KL and LM are collinear to each other and Ln is a perpendicular to the KM, then definitely I can say that Ln is a zero force member. Remember this. So you can write it down somewhere this. जर दोन मेंबर एकमेकाला कोलिनियर असतील आणि तिसरा मेंबर हा त्या इतर मेंबरला जर परपेंडिक्युलर असेल तर त्यावेळेस तिसऱ्या मेंबर मधला फोर्स हा 0 असतो. So it is used might be for a show purpose or for aesthetic purpose, but it's not having any meaning. Okay, so you might have applied here 100 kilogram load, but the answer is 0. A is the correct answer. 0 Newton is the correct answer in this case. If anyone is having a doubt related to this question, you can ask me. Okay, so we will take a next question. This question you are required to understand thoroughly, because many times they are asking such types of any question. So this is the diagram. A bullet of mass m travels at a very high velocity v as shown in the figure and gets embedded inside a block of mass m initially at a rest on a rough horizontal floor. Remember that rough represents here we have required to consider a frictional force. It is having a meaning. Remember this. Some words are having a meaning in engineering mechanics. Rough is nothing but we have required to consider frictional force. Inextensible string means we have required to consider the string is having only one tension. Okay, so such types of words are there which are making impact during solving the problem. The block with the bullet is seen to move a distance s along the floor. Assuming mu to be a coefficient to a kinematic friction between the block and floor, and g the acceleration due to gravity, what is the velocity v of the bullet? So these are the 4 answers of this question. Objective questions, they have asked this question as asked for 2 marks. So definitely for solving this problem, somewhat a time is required. Directly by seeing towards the diagram, we can't get the answer. We require to solve this problem, and then we have required to choose the correct answer or correct option from this question. Clear? So try to think about this problem. Okay, now I will explain this problem. I will help to you to solve this problem. Now see here in this question, the bullet, they have mentioned that the bullet is having a velocity v and it is making any impact on the mass m, capital M. Bullet is having a mass small m. After impact, bullet and this mass wooden block is moving a distance yes a distance in a forward direction. So they have asked that what is the velocity v of the bullet, means what is the initial velocity of the bullet. So in terms of any mass and in terms of any terms they have asked mu gs, in terms of any that way they have asked. They have not asked the final answer just like in 19.17, like numerical value they have not asked here. So to solve this problem, we have required to use a two principle. The first principle is a conservation of momentum. The reason behind this, there is an impact is there. If there were not impact, we might not use the impulse momentum or conservation of momentum principle. Whenever there is an impact, there we have required to use a conservation of momentum principle. Remember this. And after impact, this body travel a sufficient distance, which is we are representing by s. So after impact, it is a traveling distance s. So remember that wherever there is any displacement is there, in a kinetics, we have required to use a work energy principle. So here only one principle we can't use. Initially, up to impact, we have required to use a conservation of momentum principle. And after impact, we have required to use a work energy principle. So remember this. Now, how to solve this problem? Now you can check it. So we have required to consider before impact, means just before impact, and after impact. These two phenomena we are required to draw separately. So bullet is having a mass m, initial velocity u1 I have considered here, but u1 is nothing but here v, remember. Second, wooden block of mass m and initial velocity u2. So remember this phenomena only. Next, this is the before impact. Now what will be the happen after impact? So bullet will be inserted inside. Am I right? And it will be.
Hello. Hello, sir.
हाँ. बोला की. Hello.
काय नाही सर.
काय? Hello. हर्षल नाक.
काय नाही सर, चुकून माईक चालू झालं.
असं आहे का? बरं चालेल. Okay. Now see here, after impact, we know that total weight of the body will be small m plus capital M into G. Bullet mass plus body of wooden block. Then reaction generated due to a surface. Then frictional force, which is represented by Fr, is equal to mu into R. Frictional force is directly proportional to the reaction force. And constant of proportionality is called the coefficient of friction. So Fr is equal to mu into R, and it will travel a distance, and we are going to consider after impact velocity, we are considering u, and it will travel a distance s, and it is having a velocity capital V. Now this is the after impact phenomenon. Now before impact means just the impact. We have required to use a conservation of momentum principle, and in a conservation of momentum principle, and then we have required to use a work energy principle. So in a conservation of momentum, we know that m1 u1 before impulse, momentum before impact and momentum after impact. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay. So now we know that wooden block initial velocity is a 0, and after impact we have given the nomenclature velocity is a capital U. So U1 is equal to small m plus capital M into U divided by small m. Now work energy principle if I wanted to apply. Now see here, work energy principle is nothing but force into displacement is a work done. So work energy principle states that change in net work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Net work done of a body is equal to change in kinetic energy, and we are going to consider a horizontal motion. We are not going to consider a vertical motion or vertical displacement. We are considering horizontal displacement, so that only one force present in a horizontal motion, which is we can call it as a frictional force. So frictional force is opposite to the motion, so that work is a negative here. So here minus Fr into S into change in kinetic energy 1/2 mv square minus 1/2 mu square. So here final velocity, त्याला काय आपण ढकलत असं खूप लांब पर्यंत नेत नाही. After impact it will cover some distance and automatically it will stop. So the final velocity in this case it is a 0. So the initial velocity will be the u square. Initial velocity we have represented by u. Now if you will put the value, r ची value इथं put केली, तर तुम्हाला you are going to get one equation. So mu into small m plus capital M. So it is a Fr into G into S. It is, I have not written here yes. So S is there, plus sorry is equal to minus 1/2 small m plus capital M into u square. Capital U is equal to 2 mu G S. S is also there. So I have forgotten here the value of S should be there. या ठिकाणी u मध्ये s ची भी व्हॅल्यू येते बघा. Now keep this value capital U into the first equation into the u1. So you are going to get the answer. So if you understood this theorem, you can solve any type of a problem in which the momentum or the impact is there. Change in momentum is there. So such types of problems are related to the impulse. So remember this this type of phenomena. So whatever they have asked, sometimes they are going to ask the question in terms of a numerical value. Sometimes they are going to ask in terms of these terms. So you have required to solve this problem according to, but the theorem is not different. Just nomenclatures are different here. Okay. So if anybody is having any doubt related to this question, you can ask to me. कुणाला काय डाउट आहे का याच्याबद्दल? So you can unmute to yourself and you can ask a question to me. Okay, if it is not, so we'll take a next question. Those who have writing this, please write it down, because many times the question has asked on a bullet and wooden block. This question in first year you might be know this has been asked for 7 marks. 7 or 8 marks. Sometimes they are asking for 8 marks also. Okay, so we'll take a next question, question number 8. A reel of mass m and radius of gyration k is rolling down smoothly from rest with one end of thread wound on it held in a ceiling as depicted in the figure. Consider thickness of a thread and its mass negligible in comparison to a radius r of the hub and real mass m. Symbol G present acceleration due to the gravity. So we have required to find out the linear acceleration of reel is. So they have asked the question, what is the linear acceleration of the reel is? And second simultaneous question they have asked in the same, what is the tension in the string? or in a thread. So try to solve this problem. Now I will give a time to you. Those are present now. Please make your attendance in a chart. Put your roll numbers. जे कोण प्रेझेंट आहेत त्यांनी चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये त्यांची प्रेझेंट अटेंडन्स प्रेझेंट रोल नंबर टाका फक्त चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये. Again I'm repeating, those are present, please put your roll numbers in a chat box. And hardly I am going to give a 5 minutes to you. 5 मिनिटानंतर मी सेव्ह करणार आहे, नंतर मी येणार नाही अटेंडन्स. दिस 5 minutes are here for your presence, to make your presence. Okay, so I will give a time to you. Try to think this problem. विचार केल्याशिवाय प्रॉब्लेम सुटणार नाही. मी डायरेक्ट लगेच सोल्युशन तुम्हाला दिलं तर तुम्ही म्हणसाल की हा प्रॉब्लेम खूप सोपा आहे. So obviously this question is a simple, but we have required to think on this problem, how to solve. I will give a hint to solve this problem. Here only, here linear motion present. त्या दिशेने भी येते आणि रोटेट भी होते. आपण बघा भिंगरी ज्यावेळेस आपण फेकतो असे त्यावेळेस ती काय करते की लिनियर डिस्टन्स भी कव्हर करत असते. ती लिनियर डिस्टन्स भी कव्हर करत असते आणि त्याबरोबर ती रोटेट भी होत असते. So here we have required to consider both motion and we have required to apply D'Alembert principle. And what is the D'Alembert principle? Inertia force we have required to consider opposite to the motion. Again I am repeating this. Here we are required to apply a D'Alembert principle for a rotary motion as well as a translatory motion. Here we are required to use the D'Alembert principle for a rotary motion as well as translatory motion. D'Alembert principle in case of linear motion is the inertia force in a linear motion. Inertia force in a rotary might be this. लिनियर आणि अँग्युलर मध्ये फरक कसा आहे बघा. ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी मास असतं या त्या त्या ठिकाणी मास मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया असतो. आय हा रिप्रेझेंट केला जातो त्याने. आय असते त्या ठिकाणी. आणि ज्या ज्या ठिकाणी ऍक्सेलरेशन ने रिप्रेझेंट केलेलं असतं या लिनियर मोशन मध्ये त्या त्या ठिकाणी अँग्युलर मोशन मध्ये ऍक्सेलरेशन अल्फाने रिप्रेझेंट केलं जातं. So wherever there is a mass is there in a rotary motion, I is there, and wherever is the alpha I A is there, alpha is there in a rotary motion. So remember these things. Okay, so I will try to make more voice. The reason is that the sound is more. Sound of ear is more. Okay, so try to solve this problem. So Shraddha has shown answer A is the correct. You have given the A as an option. So we'll check it. I will give another 1 minute time to you. There is a less than 1 minute time is left now. So after 1 minute again you are required to join to this same link.
गप्पा लागा मग चेष्टा करू मला लेक्चर घेतोय